Sapphire with me. Sapphire, can you hear me? I can't see you today. I can't see your lovely, beautiful face, but I know that you're there. How you doing today? Sapphire, can you hear me? All right, that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and get her together. So I got some guests in the studio today. So super excited to have him here. So we got a lot to talk about. We got some basketball to talk about. We're also going to try to fit in some Cleveland Guardians. They are playing right now against the New York Mets. Francisco, excuse me. Lindor is back in town, and we're going to try to maybe possibly talk a little bit of NFL. So as our guest, we have Sincere Moten in the house, and you said Paperboy, right? Poster Boy. I'm sorry, Poster Boy. Okay, you gave me names 2 seconds before the show. We got a lot going on. So Poster Boy of the And One mixtape tour. So if you're not familiar with And One, it's a lot of basketball going on. It's some of the best street ballers in the world. Now, Poster Boy, because I want you to talk about yourself a little bit, but tell us a little bit about And One and when and where did And One start?
Well, And One started in New York at Rucker Park, probably like around 98.
Okay.
98, 99. It kind of blew up, took off with Ray for Austin. Everybody else know him and Skip to My Lou. When his first mixtape came out in probably like 2000, 99, 2000.
So people don't know what the mixtape is. What exactly is the mixtape?
The mixtape is it was just a collection of street ballers doing moves, dunks, just highlights of kind of like the craziest dunks and tricks that was out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the YouTube stuff that they got now, Instagram stuff that they got
now. Okay, so with this being tied, because this is a culture and a hip hop movement as well, right?
Yeah.
So
we started that.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about the basketball. So is this, so people who don't know, is this a little bit like a mix of Harlem Globetrotters? What exactly is street ball for people who don't know what that is?
Street ball is basically street ball is the form of basketball that you play. As long as you good at what you do and you do it, and you bring it to the streets, it's street ball.
Mm-hmm.
The tricks and the entertainment part comes from just some people being more creative than other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is.
So how did you get involved? What's your story? How did you get involved in And One? Like,
nice.
So let's talk about your beginning. So you are from the city. You are from a borough, excuse me, right? You gave me Brooklyn borough. The borough? Out of the
best.
Okay, but aren't there like 5? I know. Okay, but those who aren't familiar, what are the boroughs for those who aren't familiar with the boroughs?
Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens.
Does anybody really care about Staten Island? No, nobody really mentions that.
Nobody care about that.
So technically there's 4 boroughs.
Yes, but it's only one that really matters.
Yeah, and that is Brooklyn. Brooklyn is in the house, huh?
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah. So tell about your beginnings. Like, you were born in Brooklyn. What high school did? So you weren't born in Brooklyn?
I was born in LaGrange, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And I moved to New York like around 8, 9 years old.
Okay. And what was it? And so LaGrange, Georgia, where is that at? Like, how far is that, near Atlanta, or how far away from that is
50 minutes from Atlanta.
Okay, 50 minutes.
30 minutes from Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you had your beginnings there. You were born there, and then 8 years old, you moved to New York City, and I'm sure that was a huge culture shock and change for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got beat up my first day.
Are you serious?
We ain't gonna talk about that though, but yeah.
Yeah, the first day of school in New York?
It's a little different.
Okay, and what school did you go to? I know a lot of them are like PS, 500 and stuff like that. So what school did you go to?
201. Pretty much, yeah. Then I went to Herbert Hoover's middle school, and then I went to Abraham Lincoln High School.
Okay. And so how'd you get into basketball? Did you play any other sports?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I tried, but football ain't for me. Baseball, I got cut my first day because I swing at anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, you can't swing at everything.
Basketball was just it.
Okay. So, when it comes to basketball, Well, let me ask you this about football there. You really don't hear about a lot of football teams coming out of New York,
We ain't got
New York
grass.
City. Okay, that's what I was about to say.
Like,
I really
where we
never
go play
thought
football
about
at?
it like that.
Middle of the street.
Yeah, no.
You know what
I've
I'm
been in
saying?
New York a couple times, but I've been to I've been to like Manhattan and stuff like that. I think I stayed in Queens overnight one time. But yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't really hear about high school football in New York when it comes to the city.
I mean, they pretty much go to like if they playing football, they go to like the prep charter schools and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Or they'll go to like Connecticut or something.
Oh, okay. So what year did you start playing basketball? How old?
Pretty much, I came out playing basketball. I came out with a basketball. My mom said.
Mm-hmm. And what was it about basketball that you loved?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even want to play basketball. My mom made me play. I thought it was a girl sport
Really? Why?
because you don't get to like tackle, push,
Mm-hmm.
slap, slam nobody.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to play because I thought it was a girl sport.
But basketball can kind of be very rough, I
I
mean.
mean, but I had to play it to fall in love with it.
Uh-huh.
And then like it was kind of like a getaway from things.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so like you played basketball in grade school, right? Okay. So then because I don't want to tell your story for you. So when did you so you played all throughout grade school and high school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then so while you were playing in grade school and high school, a lot of us who are not from New York, we hear about these legends of playing in the park and stuff like that. So we played in, is Rucker Park. What can you tell me about Rucker Park?
4th Street, King Dome, Soul in the Hole, Gun Hill is a good tournament. Tri City is a dope tournament. Hoops in the Sun is a dope tournament. But everybody pretty much gravitate to Rucker.
Mm-hmm. Because Rucker's where it's at, huh?
That's where the nice. Every court has its legends, its stars, its best players and stuff like that. But Rucker is just where you get everybody, like NBA players, superstars, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So what was your path after you graduated from high school?
I mean, I went to college.
Okay, where'd you go to college at?
Which one? I got into trouble at Georgetown. Then I went to a school called Hunter College.
Okay, so you were in DC? So how did you like DC? I love DC. That's one of my absolute favorite places.
I mean, they cool.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm gonna say. They cool.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
So you were there when John Thompson was there?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you play under him?
I was about to, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then you
I'm
left?
scared of him.
You scared of him? Why?
That's a big dude. That's a big dude. Love him to death, though.
Yeah. God rest his soul. So where'd you say you went after you left Georgetown?
I went to school at New York called
Hunter. Okay, I think I've heard of Hunter. Is that near the city?
Yeah.
Okay, so you continue playing basketball there, or okay?
I played 2 years there. It kind of got boring. So the N1 kind of, street ball was kind of like my thing at that time. So I started doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just worked out for me.
Yeah. So how did you get to the N1? How did that all come about?
Well, they had this. Well, at Hunter College, they had a street ball game, and they had they needed players to play. So I agreed to do it. Showed out. Took off from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then around that time.
So it was like a tryout, or you were just out balling and they saw you balling?
It was just like a game, a street ball game, and they was there, and it went good. For me, it did. Then they did like this. After that, they asked me to come play in this game at the park they was doing in Linden, New Jersey, and then that's when Mixtape 2 came out, Volume 2.
Mm-hmm. And so what are the differences for people who don't know? What are the differences when it comes to street ball and regular basketball?
Oh, street ball, you got the carry, and I can put the ball in my shirt, hit it off your head. I can do stuff I can't do in a regular game without getting a technical foul.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then it's just way it's just way more entertainment. Like the entertainment value is different
Mm-hmm.
than the NBA.
Mm-hmm. And this takes you all across the country, right? Has it taken you
It's
throughout the
taking
world
me
as well?
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, what have been some of your favorite places to go and visit?
In the U.S. out,
Both.
and well, of course New York. Um, Cali cool. I love Phoenix.
Okay.
I love Vegas. Believe it or not, Denver dope. Um, Texas, any part of Florida, DC of course. Um, Atlanta was okay. It was only okay because my family came. But like on the low, one of my favorite cities is Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
just because like they don't care who you are. They don't care who you are. As long as you somebody, they love you. So
Mm-hmm.
that was dope. It was different.
Now, what have been your favorite places internationally to go? Because this is taking you around the world,
Uh,
correct?
my favorite, hands down, Australia.
Oh, really?
Like hands down.
What did you like about Australia?
Because like you can, they don't have like a lot of restrictions like most out of the country places do. Like
Mm-hmm.
they more so like the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else taken.
What do you mean, like restrictions, though? For those of us, a lot of us
Cause
haven't really traveled out the country that much, but
like in Spain,
uh huh.
like or Europe or something like that, it's certain places where you can't wear certain stuff, or you
Oh,
have to
really?
you have to be more so you're not liked because you're not supposed to be in that area. Like in
Mm-hmm.
Australia, you welcome everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like that more. Like when we was touring in Europe, it was like a part of the city we had to stay in. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
unless we was doing the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Like we couldn't venture out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah, and how receptive, has the audience been internationally to and one?
I mean, they was more receptive to it because they like way behind. Like
Okay.
like when we would go over there, they was still like in well when we was going heavy like say like for instance it was 2008, right?
Mm-hmm.
They was still in 2002,
Mm-hmm.
so they was more welcome
Mm-hmm.
because they so far behind.
Now, how long have you been involved in the N1? What year did you start?
2004,
Okay.
2004.
So you were in that when they were behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the questions I got from one of my audience members is they said they wanted to know, has Kobe done something that LeBron hasn't, and that's played in Rucker Park?
Yeah,
Kobe played over there.
he had 25 points in the first half.
Oh, really? Against some street ballers.
Killed it.
Okay. Wow.
like killed it. And then the second half it started raining, so they canceled the game. But he ended up with 31, but he had 25 of those in the first half.
How did street ballers do against Kobe though? Was his team winning or?
Was they winning?
Yeah. No, I'm talking
I
about
mean,
the team that he played
he was
against.
on. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they was on.
Okay.
Bad, convincing.
Because I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but I root against Kobe Bryant. So
Oh no, I love Kobe.
You do?
Love Kobe.
Kobe was mean to me. So that's one of the reasons why I don't rock with.
Kobe.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. So, but he wasn't very nice to me. So,
Kobe, he a different breed. That's why.
Yeah, he very much so is. So I hate to say this, but the team that he was playing against, I'd be rooting for. Because they probably would be considered some underdogs. So I would be rooting for that team playing against Kobe.
But in LeBron's defense, he was gonna play. It's just that was the year of the blackout, and he wasn't able to play.
The year of the blackout, it was only one day.
But that was the day of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Game. I was about to say, it wasn't a whole summer. It was just one
summer,
night.
But I'm just saying, but that was just kind of like in his defense.
Do you really think that LeBron was going to play in that game?
Probably not. But
I was about to
I was
say,
just gonna
because
say
he
in
still
his
won't do
defense.
a slam dunk competition.
I mean, he's not a dunk contest dunk. He's
I
never have
know,
been.
but I wanted to see him in one. I think
Why?
he
So
cheated the
you
NBA.
wanted to see him to lose?
No, I thought he would win. If
probably
LeBron
would've just
James
'cause
had
he's
participated in a slam dunk competition, I absolutely believe that LeBron James would
It
win
was a
that
couple
slam
years
dunk
he could have
competition.
won.
Yeah, I
A
know.
couple.
But it's like, why not participate in one then?
Because it's just not his thing.
Yeah, I know, but Michael Jordan did it, Kobe did it. You know, that didn't stop anybody from doing it, even though, you know what I'm
Michael
saying?
Jordan gambled that, so Kobe should have gambled, right?
No, absolutely not.
I'm asking.
Michael Jordan had an addiction, though.
Right.
That's completely different.
But still,
I'm talking about what basketball fans want and what basketball
he should have
fans
did
love.
it. I agree. He should have did it, but
I absolutely, because I don't know if he looked at it as something in which he was lowering himself if he did that.
No, he knew, like, he know he's a game dunker. Like, it's a difference between game dunkers and dunk contest.
I think,
like, Jaylen Brown this year was horrible in the dunk contest.
Well, nobody watches the dunk contest anymore.
I mean, I'm
Nobody
saying
cares about
that's
that.
why I don't watch it, because it was horrible.
Yeah, it's been bad for years. But I think if LeBron had stepped in there one time, you know, he would have. I mean, obviously, you know, he's 20 years in his career. When he did it was young. You know, I would have just think that was another accolade because he would have been a slam dunk champion. You know, how do you not give it to him?
I think he should have did it. He probably should have did it like his first run with the Cavs. But like after that, it was pretty much cool.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I have with it because he robbed basketball fans because basketball fans would have wanted to see him do this. So I believe that he robbed basketball fans of that opportunity to see him participate in a dunk contest because a lot of his friends have did the same thing. Like, I'm not going to participate, you know, and stuff like that. Other
Like
basketball players like, you know, Dwayne, you know.
Dwayne Wade, he's a game dunker.
I know, but still, like if they had just got in there for one time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I get what you're saying, just like because of their name.
Yeah, exactly.
Draw the I get that.
Exactly, because like we just said, nobody cares about the slam dunk contest anymore because it's just terrible. You know, I mean, no really big names. I mean, have really done it. You know, since Kobe Bryant.
Who's your favorite dunker? Huh?
I said nobody has really done it since Kobe Bryant. Anybody
Vince?
Like, Vince,
Blake Griffin?
Yeah, but nobody cares about them.
They're
not special. And that's one of the things that I wanted to get into about special players. I didn't send you the topic because I didn't want you to have them prior, but that's one of the things that I wanted to get into because somebody had made a comment on Facebook today about basketball being in good hands right now. And I don't feel that it is because I feel like there isn't, because we got to take a break right quick. I don't feel like there's a player that is special. Like Michael was special.
So
Kobe
Edwards not special?
Not yet. Not like a Michael special or not like a LeBron special. Or I don't really, I like Kobe, but I don't necessarily, because everybody does a Michael Jordan and LeBron James comparison. They don't do a Kobe Bryant comparison in those comparisons.
I mean, but who does Kobe play like?
Kobe plays like Kobe.
No, he doesn't.
Kobe plays like Kobe. He tried to mimic Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan said that he annoyed the heck out of him, calling him all the time after late night games and stuff like that.
I mean, so my thing is, like the dudes now, we saw what we saw, so we compare it to what we saw. But the generation now, they like Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, Kyrie, Luka. They like those.
But I'm looking for somebody that is like
special.
On Michael Jordan or LeBron-esque.
Good luck.
I'm looking for that person.
Good luck.
Because it's like we kind of slipped right into there right after Jordan. Then came LeBron, and now I'm looking for who's that next unworldly player. So we're gonna talk about that some more. We gotta take a break right quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. All right, you doing okay?
Good.
I'm trying to figure out what's my co-host.
Circuit.
It's not okay. Yeah. Probably ain't much I can do about that. So sorry.
I can hear a board like that. You ain't know what to say in a second.
She kind of froze me when she said special players. I'm
Hello.
like, whoa.
He was like,
Hello. Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Well, we can't test it until we get back on air. So I'm gonna try to, right. I just added you back to the stage, so hopefully that did it because I'm like everything. I added you and stuff like that. So everything looks to be good. So I'm recording the show. I added you to the stream and stuff like that. So I don't know what happened. So I got you in. I got your mic on and stuff like that. Okay, so we got about a minute and 9 seconds before we come back on. Okay, okay, all right, bye.
I can't believe she just said
What?
ain't no special players in the league.
But like LeBron asked though, and that's the thing. That's what I'm looking for. That worldwide, that global phenomenon. That's what I'm looking for. Somebody that everybody can rally around and hate because the majority of the world outside of Michael had his fans, but the majority of the world always wanted to see Michael Jordan lose. That player that everybody can't stand. You know what I'm saying?
The player everybody can't stand is losing.
What you mean?
Who likes Draymond Green?
Well, I don't mind Draymond after what I can't stand him. I don't mind him as a person because he's like very pro-black and has not kept his mouth shut about civil rights issues. So I have a different respect for him. But as a player, I don't like him as a player. He went to Michigan State. I went to Ohio State, so that's another thing too.
Hey yo, you don't know. I can't say.
All right, we'll be coming right back.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna ask me that.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of the Sports. Sapphire, are you with me? Sapphire, I'm trying to get you. We're going to continue to work on that while I got you here. So we are here right now with what do you want me to call you?
Go ahead.
You said,
Go ahead. You got it. Sincere. Poster boy.
The poster boy.
NYC.
I'm so used to calling people by their regular name. But we got the poster boy with us from the N1. So I've been very excited to talk about N1 because this is something that's super special. And, there's been some players that have came from N1 that have crossed over and played in the NBA, right?
No, it's only one.
It's only one. And tell us who that was. Rayford Alston. Okay, so only one player? I would have thought that there would have been more that would have came from N1 and went to the league because of the talent level.
Not being funny, it's levels.
Get a little bit closer to the mic.
There's levels to that.
Yeah. Okay, but he did something that so far nobody else hasn't, which is, still amazing within itself.
Oh, yeah, he's really nice. I mean, I'm not saying nobody else wasn't nice. It was just when you got the N1 stigma, the street ball stigma, you're not gonna go far.
Why is it a stigma with N1 where, basketball, I wouldn't necessarily say that because basketball was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, correct?
I guess you could say that. I mean, me personally, I was born in New York. So.
Well, I was about to get to that, but so the next sentence, that was setting you up for that. So my next sentence was, but it was refined and honed and put on the map based on what was taking place, in New York. So why do you feel like, or why is there a stigma with that when you got some of the best ballers, in New York City and also ballers from other places have came? We talked about Kobe Bryant going to Rucker Park playing. We talked about LeBron James, was supposedly play there, but, the lights went out in most of Eastern America that day. But, why would there be a stigma with that when it's something that, has a lot of accolades and stuff like that?
I mean, but at the time, you gotta understand, like, at that time when N1 was out and everything, coaches didn't want that. They wanted the team concept.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you notice, the NBA is gravitated towards ISO players, dudes with handles, with
Mm-hmm.
bounce and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you said that this was individualistic, but um, isn't America based on rugged individualism?
Yeah, but I mean, at that time, I mean, like, think about it. At that time, the NBA was more so structured.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, it's just they up and down the court. So it's more fast paced versus back then when it was slow paced.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a huge difference. Now, if we was had the like the NBA aspirations now, I think some of them could have made it.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple of them that could have made it for sure.
Which are some of the ballers that you think could have made it?
My boy Baby Shaq for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ayo,
What's Baby Shaq's real name?
Hugh Jones
Okay.
from DC,
Okay.
Capital Punishment.
Okay.
He'll kill me if I don't say that part. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So Ayo, he from Philly. My boy Go Get It from Chicago. He definitely could have made it.
But the talent is definitely there.
That's about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a couple more, but I can't think of like off my head like who I would say would be there and who would.
Mm-hmm. So you said that you got some Sapphire, and I don't know why I can't hear her, but we can see her right now in the questioning. And she says, what separates the Brooklyn, New York, and one players from the rest?
We the best at everything.
Uh-huh.
We got the greatest basketball player ever from Brooklyn,
Uh-huh.
besides me.
Okay, and who was that?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played at Rucker Park?
No, I ain't say all that. I said he was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. And then when did he move to
It don't matter. He was you trying to go down the rabbit hole. I ain't trying to no, I ain't doing that.
Why do you think he never got out there? Because I mean, players been playing at Rucker Park since from forever, right?
Yeah, I mean, but,
Before the '80s and stuff like that, right?
yeah.
They've been out there.
I mean, maybe I don't know. You know, he was in North Carolina, a little country boy. You know, I love him. You know, Iverson played out there. That's my favorite player of all time.
She also says that he may have to claim MJ because of that Knicks loss. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna
Y'all
get to
ain't
that.
want to talk about that. See,
No, we're gonna talk about that.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about all of the playoffs. So we're not.
So hold on, time out. Pause.
Yeah.
You can't skip the Knicks. I don't want to talk about that. It's cool. I got her when I see it.
I was about to say, I told
it.
you before you came on, we was talking about all basketball today.
You said Cavs.
Yeah, Cavs and the rest of the series
You
too.
know what? Let's go. Let's go. We can talk about this. What y'all want to know about the Knicks, man? I got you.
Well, we wasn't gonna do the Knicks first. We were gonna gradually ease into the Knicks.
No,
you know what? But before we head into that, I actually had the Knicks win in the series. I did not have the Pacers beat the Knicks, so I'm very, very surprised. I used to root for the Knicks, and I told you this the other night. I used to root for the Knicks, but once they beat us, really bad, I stopped rooting for the Knicks. So, but I was looking forward to what I thought was going to be a Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks Eastern Conference Finals, with Boston eventually moving on.
In my defense, I don't even really get my hopes up because I know they're going to find a way to mess it up anyway.
I mean, that's kind of like Cavs fans.
But y'all won a championship.
Yeah, don't the Knicks got one?
51 years ago, I wasn't even born.
So we got our first, we got our first basketball title and our first title.
So let me ask you this. So when people are like, man, when was y'all last championship? What do y'all say?
2016.
So that sounds better than 1977.
Okay, first of all, let's go. So you got the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, they haven't won anything. You have the New York Yankees, which has 19 titles. You have the New York Mets, which have a couple titles. You have the New York Rangers, which has a couple titles as well.
Pause. We don't talk about the Rangers.
You have the New York Giants, which has a couple titles as well. You have New York Jets that has at least a title. Huh?
The butt fumble.
But
That's
the
what
New
they
York
fumbled
Giants,
on.
yeah, but the New York Giants have some titles. Then you also have the New York Jets. So let's
I mean, if I
not
played
talk about
football,
when
I love them.
exactly, but still, when you be like, when the last time you had a title?
No, we talking about basketball though.
Yeah, I know, but that's different. Y'all got titles. There's a difference between having a basketball title and multiple titles as opposed to us having one title since since like the 1950s.
But what's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is baseball.
All right, we can change subject.
Well, we actually gonna take a break right quick.
Cool.
So you've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We're gonna be right back.
She really broke up.
How you get the interview? How you asking her questions? She's
Cause
supposed to be
man,
asking you questions.
No, he can ask me questions. I like that. The back and forth.
she broke up to tight. Like we talking.
Ran down them facts. That's my girl.
That's right.
I thought we was thinking
He
of.
said, hold on.
But I'm saying,
We got one title.
but
They got like 8 teams in New York with
I
titles.
mean, but the thing about it is, when your favorite sport basketball, you want to win in that. Baseball cool, but I don't,
Was you at the parade when the New York Yankees won?
No.
You wasn't in none of those parades. Was you at the parade when the Giants won?
No.
Why not?
I'm not a Giants fan.
They represent your city.
They don't even play in New York.
I know.
So
They played in the Meadowlands. We went past the Meadowlands one time. We were like, it's like they forgot to build a stadium in New York City or something.
Yeah, so they don't. They technically they are the New Jersey Giants. I don't represent that.
Oh, whoops. The mics are still on. All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel, the First Lady of Sports. We have exciting talk on the mic and also have exciting talk, when the mics are supposed to be turned off, but they weren't. So you got me asking about titles, and the poster boy was not at any of these parades because he does not care about those teams, but that still does not negate that the teams of your cities actually have titles. So this isn't like a situation where no Cleveland team has won a title since the 1950s. So you guys have had at least something to hang your hat on, even though these are teams that you're not actively rooting for per se, but these are still representatives of the great city of New York.
But all right. So we just talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do Giants play?
Well, where do they play at now? They used to play in the New Jersey Meadowlands, and I still don't understand that. Like I said on the mic, the mic was on. It's like they forgot to build a stadium because the Meadowlands were literally that. They were like a swamp. And we was like, what is going on out here? Why is there a stadium out here? So where do they play now?
In New Jersey.
Oh, they still play in New Jersey?
Yeah.
So where did they build that stadium at? On the grounds of the old Meadowlands? Oh, I didn't know that.
They bring them to Brooklyn. They'll win. Winners come out of Brooklyn.
Do y'all even have anywhere to build a stadium at in Brooklyn?
Not for real, but I was just it sounded good, It sounded all right. It sounded great.
Nothing wrong with that. So George, we ain't at the Knicks just yet, but I'm gonna just let them know. I'm gonna just put that out there. George says the Knicks had 2 chances to win the series and imploded. Knicks sound a lot like the Cleveland teams. He said Cleveland oops, but I say Cleveland teams. So let's just go ahead and get into that series while everybody want to talk about it and bring it up. One of the things is that there were some injuries going into that series already. Julius Randle was already out. He's been out. What was wrong with Julius Randle?
Nobody knows.
Okay. So he was been out the majority of the season, right? Yeah. Who else were y'all missing going into this series?
He was missing our center, Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, right, Mitchell Robinson.
He tried to come back, but he was hurt.
Okay.
Then OG got hurt. Josh Hart got hurt. That killed us. And then.
But Josh Hart played in this series, didn't he?
Yeah, he played. I mean, he tried to get out there, but it's only so much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen Brunson broke his hands, fractured his hand, broke whatever.
Yeah, how did that happen? Because on the play, it didn't look like there was really. Didn't he just like pretty much go like that to his body?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm hearing, because I'm not gonna lie, we had went to a party yesterday, and then I went home and I was really tired. I fell asleep a little bit. So when I woke up, I saw that the game had lost. Was the Knicks had lost the game, and that Jalen Brunson had fractured his hand, and I was really surprised by that because obviously Jalen Brunson was a Cavs killer in the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I thought that he kind of should maybe have been MVP, quite honestly, because the way that he's been playing this year. So
what?
the NBA. I don't like Jalen Brunson, but the way Jalen Brunson had been playing
like he should have
and
been,
got the Knicks into the
been
number 2
mentioned.
position.
He should have been mentioned. I'm not gonna say he should have won MVP. He should have been mentioned though.
Yeah, I think he should have been part of that
But,
conversation.
Next year, hopefully.
I don't think the Joker should have won 3 straight MVPs.
I know. I don't either.
So I think Jalen should have been in the MVP.
I don't want to say I don't want to say who I wanted to win because it was no reason. Like he had no chance of winning. But
let's talk about that.
I think this year who should have won MVP?
Yeah,
Shea should have won. Like in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
But me personally,
you was rooting against his team the other night.
Yeah, home team. My Kyrie from Jersey and my boy Sham God is a coach on Dallas.
You was rooting against who your MVP picked though.
I said he should have won MVP. MVP is cool. As long as he don't win no ring, I'm good.
Oh man, come on, man.
What you want? That's real. You don't think so?
We're still mad at Kyrie.
Why?
Because he left us. What do you mean why? He left us.
But he got y'all the ring.
Yeah, one, but we could have multiple rings. But if not for Kyrie leaving, LeBron would not have left and broken up the big 3. And, unfortunately from there, we all know what happened, and we had to rebuild this team. And LeBron went on to LA, but Kyrie was the catalyst, the original card that fell that, broke this team up.
You got a point. I still like him.
Yeah, he's a great player. I respect his game and stuff like that. Part of me has forgiven him since. So
if he came back, would you be good with that?
I mean, we'd be all right. I'd cheer for him and stuff like that. I'd cheer for him. I'd be great. When LeBron left, I hated LeBron. When he was in Miami and stuff like that. Oh, okay. When he was in Miami, and then after we got the title, me and him was cool. I love him, but we cool. He left us again, so I wasn't too thrilled with that. You know what I'm saying? So excuse me, I'm not thrilled when the man keep leaving us, right?
There you go. So
nobody wants to be left. Nobody wants to be treated like we're not good enough. What is wrong with our city? You left us for Miami, then you came back. You left us for LA. He's probably coming back. I don't know if this is something that we discussed the other night, and I said that LeBron James is going to retire.
Bronny James?
Bronny. I don't prefer to have LeBron James Jr. I prefer to have Bryce Maximus, as a Cleveland Cavalier, but LeBron is not going to be able to hold out. He's only going to play long enough for one son to get to the league, which is going to be this, year. But he's not going to be able to last long enough to, for Bryce to get drafted or whatever. Because I think, what year is Bryce? Bryce is what? Going to be a junior this year? Or a senior? Okay. Yeah. So 3 years, I don't know if LeBron can hang on that long. He could play, until he's 43, obviously, but could you see LeBron, playing still, maybe coming off the bench, or do you think he could still play at a high level like he is now? In 3 years.
In 3 years, he'll be a decoy.
Okay.
He'll just bring the ball up, hold it for 20 seconds, pass it to Bronny.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The situation is I'm glad that he is the type of person that has put his son in this situation, because if he wasn't LeBron James' son, he would not be anywhere near sniffing the NBA. He'd be a bench player somewhere at some no-name university, pretty much, if he wasn't LeBron James' son. So I'm glad that LeBron and Rich and Clutch is doing everything that they can to propel him into the spotlight. But you average 4 points a game, and I understand, he had the heart issues and all that other stuff. But do you seriously look at him and look at his game as it is right now and say that he can have success in the NBA as something other than a role player?
I mean, he's gonna be a star just because of his dad is.
A star? Yeah, you can have star power, but are you a star player?
Oh no, he's gonna
Because he can be given the opportunity. Now, it's his with the opportunity. It's up to him what he decides to do with it.
Like that's the thing. Like he's like, as long as his dad around, he always gonna have opportunity.
Yeah, but
now if he get traded and his dad ain't around, oh yeah, he's gonna be on that pound, averaging 1.7 points per game.
So you think he gonna be starting somewhere, wherever he at? He gonna start?
He playing with his dad, so he's going to start. I wouldn't start him per se, but LeBron he has 7 positions. He's the coach, the GM. he got a lot, so his son gonna play regardless.
Yeah, because he's a free agent. What, next year?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's coming back to the Cavs. I wasn't so sure at first or whatever, but I think he's coming back.
So who y'all get rid of then?
Well, they said that. Well, I don't know. LeBron probably. I don't know. This is the thing, because LeBron is just. He always keeps us as a mystery, and always keeps us guessing. But they're saying that Donovan Mitchell is one of the top targets for the LA Lakers this offseason. So, what will Cleveland do? There's a lot. We ain't even got to the Cavs yet. We just been on N1 and LeBron James.
I was just asking.
Yeah, well, we talking Cavs now. I don't know. LeBron always puts us in this quandary of what should we do? What do we have to do? What do we need to do? He's a player that makes you have to act and makes you have to act fast. Where you're not necessarily in, the best shape to do that. And then when LeBron leaves, you're always in a rebuilding mode. So this team has had to rebuild since he left 6 years ago. So I don't think that they want to be rebuilding again, where they're pretty much, hey, this team has been the first time that we've made it to the playoffs, since the late 90s, early 90s, I believe, 89, since 89, without LeBron James Jr. is the first time that they've actually won a playoff series. So we're talking 30 years. So you're talking about incremental, progress. So, JB came, they made it to the play-in game. They weren't able to, get past that and get into the playoffs. So last year they make it to the playoffs. They don't win the series, something that history untold us who they lost to. So we know whatever. so now, this year there's been incremental progress. So, okay, you won that first series without LeBron James since 1989. And now, you went to the second round and you lost that series, but there's been progress in that past few years. And then LeBron comes, he blows it all up. If he comes, like you said, who are you going to get rid of? You're having to get rid of players who you've used to help, build this team up and build them to, where they are now. But right now, there's a lot of glaring questions about, Donovan, what he's going to do. There's glaring questions about Darius Garland and his play, about whether or not you do something with Jared Allen and things of that nature. So there's a lot of questions right now about what happens with this team before you even add in the question of LeBron James.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take a break. But Sapphire did say that the Cavaliers are in a complete rebuild phase again. So, and she says no LeBron as well. So we're going to go ahead and take another break. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Wow, so y'all don't know LeBron? That's All right, so look, what if y'all get Steph Curry?
Huh?
What if y'all get Steph Curry?
We don't want Steph Curry.
He moving?
No, I'm asking, like, no, seriously.
Then she said no Steph C.
I think Donovan's going to the Lakers. I'll be honest
He
with you.
is.
I think he's going. 'Cause,
Either they or the Knicks.
Mm-mm.
You go to the Knicks.
Knicks are stacked though. They just gotta get everybody to play. RJ Barrett, Julius.
We don't have
Randle.
him.
You got him no more? Where'd he go?
He played
In
in Toronto.
Toronto.
We traded him for OG.
Ananobi.
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 Yeah.
Julius Randle. Mitchell. All of them players play.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks should be winning. But something, I mean, it's something over the Knicks that's keeping them from being the best. You know, it's that
James
politics.
Dolan.
Really. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of. It's like when you play like what's craps. There's a whole lot of money in the pot in New York. You know, everybody a stake in the game. So,
And like we are the only team that had the worst team in the league and didn't get the first pick.
That's crazy.
Is somebody dope coming out of the university this year? Not really. Because Atlanta got the pick.
No, I'm just saying like the year Zion was coming out.
All right, welcome back to Her and Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. Make sure you keep your dial locked right here on 95.9 FM, your regular radio dial, and then you can listen online at WOVU.org. You can also download that WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go. And then you can always call the station at any time with any questions, comments, or concerns at 216-271-0959. This is Rachel Hill. Sapphire is with us online. So we can't hear her or see her right now, see her beautiful face, but that's okay. But in studio with us today, we have the poster boy from And One. So And One mixtape tour series as well. Did you talk about talk about what's going on in Pittsburgh this weekend?
I'm doing it's like I want to say a fundraiser game just for Pittsburgh Public Schools.
Okay. So how's that going to work? Proceeds that are taken from the gate or
be given to
Okay. Now, also too, we got a chance to talk about, what is going on with And1 here in Cleveland. What about, having some exhibitions here in Cleveland and stuff like that? What's the plan for that? Because I haven't seen enough. I think I've seen some years ago, but not anything as of late.
I mean,
or maybe 3-on-3 tournaments. I know we have. Do you participate?
On that.
Do you participate in those too? 3-on-3?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Somebody talk crazy. Touch earth one time.
Yeah, you so New York. And you got your Yankees cap on. Oh, just a quick update. The Cleveland Guardians are beating the New York Mets 2-0. It looks like they are in the top of the third inning right now. Top of the third inning. So Cleveland Guardians winning 2-0 over the New York Mets. I'm sorry, we were talking about.
You just had to throw that in.
No, not really. I mean, they're playing right now while we're on, so
cool.
I didn't mean to throw. Did I put extra emphasis on New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, it's cool.
My bad.
It's all right.
Well, the lights shine big and bright. New York.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead. Sorry. So some of the gate proceeds are going to go to Pittsburgh. You said public schools, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's thank you for doing stuff for the community. That's important.
I'm gonna do it in Cleveland too.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That'd be great. Cleveland Public Schools could definitely. Cleveland Public Schools could definitely use, whatever donations that they could possibly get their hands on. So, that's an amazing thing. So let's go right quick to the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics series. What are your thoughts overall regarding that series? We know who won. We know.
I want to go.
It was a gentleman's sweep. I actually, we talked about this on air. You wasn't with us, but I actually said that the Cleveland Cavaliers were going to get swept. So it was a gentleman's sweep. So I know. I didn't think that they were going to be able to win a game.
They won a game. I mean,
I'm happy. I wanted to
honestly,
be wrong.
if Donovan Mitchell, I feel like if he was all the way healthy, and let's see who else didn't play?
Jared Allen,
Yeah, he was like a huge problem for y'all.
Dean Wade was out, but I don't
Who?
really know that. I know. My next sentence was gonna be like, I don't really know that
Oh,
anything.
and then like the LeVert dude, he don't get y'all nothing. He don't
Yeah,
get y'all
but
nothing.
you know, I wouldn't necessarily say he provides that spark off the bench, but you know, he provides something. And that game against Boston in Boston, game 2, he had over 20 points coming off the bench, so that is something good for him. And
Yeah,
you know, that was good for him. And
then
you
the
know,
next game, what happened?
he came crashing back to earth.
Yeah, 6 measly. I mean, I can't talk. I mean, look at the Knicks. We lost by 21.
I was really shocked by that. I really wasn't expecting that at all. I was shocked.
I took my hat off. I ain't even talk about the game. She was asking about it. She was like, love her to death. I ignored her
Why?
because I knew we was losing. I knew it was gonna happen.
Well, I kept on saying, okay, they're coming back. The Knicks got to run in them. This is just temporary. They're coming back. This isn't going down. This isn't happening.
And then when it was like, what was score?
It was bad.
Oh, okay. So I ain't answer my phone, no DMs on the Instagram, none of that. I ain't trying to hear nobody.
People wanted to talk trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but I knew it was gonna happen because I don't get my hopes up no. Never get my hopes up ever again.
Oh, so
Oh Lord.
no, so while we was talking Cavs though, George says Donovan is going nowhere unless he is traded. He is still under contract for the next year for the Cavs. And Sapphire says, yes, George, rebuild around him.
You're gonna have to get rid of one of them.
Darius. Get rid of Darius Garland.
So y'all gonna keep Evan Mobley?
Yes. You gotta, I guess, I mean, as opposed to Jared Allen, I mean, and to be fair to Jared, this injury was a new injury for him. He was elbowed by one of the Germans, by Franz Wagner, and he was elbowed. And, you know, we don't know the extent of those injuries because the Cavs kind of, you know, kept it quiet. So we don't know if, you know, anything was fractured or anything like that. They wanted him to try to get back into the game. I believe he wanted to try to get back into the game too, but it just wouldn't happen. And then we hear this stuff talking about this shot that he was supposed to have taken. And if you know, and if you call anything about Tyrod Taylor, I think at the time he was with the Chargers, you know, he had took an injection and they missed. And they injected, I believe, his lung. So I could kind of understand and see why Jared Allen wouldn't want to take a shot.
I mean, I wouldn't either. I'm not about to risk my.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, that'd be funny, but it's always next season.
Yeah, so a lot of people are kind of upset with that. But to be fair to his credit, he played in all 81 games this season. George Niang played in all 81 games this season. Not 81, excuse me, all 82 games this season. So, you know, unfortunately, the injuries came during the playoffs. You know, going into the playoffs, Dean Wade pretty much was the only one that was hurt. Dean Wade. I know.
I don't even know who. Like,
so, okay. So, do you remember when the Cavs beat the Celtics a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
So Dean Wade pretty much had this once in a lifetime game against the Celtics and pretty much like scored all of our points at the very end. And he was the reason why we won the game. So I think a lot of people was hoping that when he returned in game 3, it was going to be something like that. But like I said, that was like a once in a lifetime performance for him.
One-hit wonder.
Yeah, he was a one-hit wonder. So
hey, shout out to him.
So
you should let me have his spot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how can people follow you and stuff like that? Usually we do that at the end of the show, but how can people follow you and see, you know, you playing basketball and stuff like that?
Go on Instagram. Is it underscore? I don't know. I changed it so much.
Why you keep changing your Instagram? Stop being like that. You don't be changing your phone number all the time too, do you?
Yes. The _posterboy.11. You know, I take all donations. No, I'm joking. But yeah, pretty much on there. You can go to the N1 YouTube channel, N1 Mixtape. Um, we have something coming out for ClashTV.com,
Oh, okay.
a live stream. It's we working on doing a couple open runs for the summer. I don't know which ones I'm gonna show up to because my beautiful wife, have we have things to do.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm doing a few different things right here. I produced the show too. So the poster board also has his beautiful wife in the studio with us, one of my best friends, Dawn Davis. So she is not on the microphone, but she is here in support, and she's actually seeing some. She's seen me in action before, but this is the first time she actually seen me in action in an actual radio station. So this is the first time that she's seen this. So I'm happy to have her here. Happy to have her support here as well. So let's talk about. We only got 4 minutes left, so really quickly, we can talk about. I want to get on the other series, Denver and Minnesota. What are your thoughts coming out of that series? I was shocked that Denver lost yesterday.
Honestly, I was shocked, but I'm cool with that because Anthony Edwards is a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's gonna be the next star of the league.
You can barely understand a word he's saying, but
yeah, I mean, you got translators for that. You got, like, hey, what he say? This is what he said.
So Dallas and OKC. So you were happy that Dallas came out with the victory against OKC. I just want, OKC is a young team, so I wanted to, just see them do a little something. So I wanted to OKC.
I won 2 games.
I know. I wanted to see OKC and the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, but so we're going to see Denver. Huh?
Because Kyrie about to get a ring.
No, we're not.
Don't do that.
No, he's not.
No.
He's not.
Why not?
I'm not a fan of any of the teams that's left, but this is the Boston Celtics year, unfortunately. This is their year. Now Denver is gone. This is Boston Celtics year.
You remember when they played Golden State, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
They lost.
Jason Tatum touched the Space Jam ball, remember? He's going to do it again. Like, don't be surprised.
And one of the crazy thoughts that they were talking about, their motivation for beating the Cavs was when the Cavs beat them in like 2017. I'm like, that was like 8 years ago, and nobody on that team is left anymore except for Tristan Thompson, who just came back. I'm like, please get out of here. Whatever, man.
That's cool.
So who do you have coming out of the Western Conference? So you have Dallas coming out of the Western Conference, and who do you have coming out of the Eastern Conference?
Boston.
Okay, so then you have the Dallas Mavericks beating for their second ring the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had that on my bingo board.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had that.
Kyrie Finals MVP.
Sapphire says Pacers versus Minnesota. Sapphire, who do you have actually winning though? So we'll wait for her response out of that. So yeah, so we talked about players being special, and you said basketball is in good hands right now. So JB, do you think that JB will get a chance to keep his job after this year? Because there's been talks of
Staff?
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Okay, he deserves it.
I mean,
because they made it to the second round this year.
To win that many games for what he got,
mm-hmm.
and he don't even really have he have an all-star, but he doesn't have a superstar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. And then Donovan, to his be fair, she has the T-Wolves winning, and Donovan played hurt. So, to be fair to Donovan, he did all he could do on the bum leg, and that was that. Well, Poster Boy, I want to thank you so much for coming on Her in the Huddle today. We appreciate you being in the huddle. Anything else? We got about 20 seconds. Anything else you want to leave us with?
Appreciate you having me.
All right, awesome. Thank you for being such a fun guest. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We are out of here.
But yeah, Celtics about to lose.